So Sipho, we're talking about the imposter syndrome, and would it be fair to say that for many years you were much more comfortable being overlooked, in the sense of even in, say, social settings or even within your own family at home, it was easier for you to hide?
Yeah, that's true, because basically for me, I grew up being told that, you know, if I said how I felt, or if I said, oh, I feel this way, I feel that way, I'm actually struggling with this now, you know, this is how I feel. I was basically told that, you know, don't create problems where there is no problems. Okay, so as a result, I kept a lot of things in. I never really used to say how I felt, and as a result, that kind of kept going on into my adult life, that I was quite happy to kind of actually not, because obviously I grew up being told not to obviously say how I felt. So when I went into public settings, I was quite happy being in the background. So if I was told that, you know, don't create problems where there is no problems, it was easier to kind of be like, okay, I'm not going to confront, I'm not going to say how I feel, I'm not going to do that. And as a result, I'm going to step back and just stay here because this is safe and it's fine. If I stay here, then I'm not going to ruffle any feathers. So as a result, I was just comfortable doing that, and I wouldn't really volunteer to do anything that required me to be seen or to be out there, to be the person that's, you know, out there. So it was quite, that's just how I lived my life for so long. And but then all that did was just build resentment, because when things happened, I didn't deal with them, and all I did was kind of again just hold them back and suppress them, because if I say how I feel, then I'm going to be too much, and I'm going to, you know, I'm going to be creating problems where there is no problem, so I won't say anything. Mm-hmm. And so that also affected my relationships, my friendships, and a few of my friends actually said to me, I share so much with you, but I don't get anything back. You know, you don't open up, you don't do this, you don't do that, and I feel like I tell you everything. And so I really struggled with being open and honest with people about how I really feel on the inside. I struggled with it for years, and as a result, you know, it did affect people, because sometimes I think people kind of felt like I like her, but at the same time, like, I don't know, you know, I don't know how to take her because she doesn't say much, you know. And so, but then I realised that actually it was building up a lot of resentment towards, you know, people that kind of said that to me as I was growing up. And I realised that actually the longer I left it and it carried on, it was actually doing damage to the inside of me and my soul, and it was really unhealthy. Yeah. So I realised that I needed to begin to actually tell them how I feel, and it was a massive risk, because I knew that if I did say to that person how I felt, I knew that obviously they wouldn't really acknowledge it. They would just say to me, you are creating problems where there is no problems. But I still took that risk because it wasn't really healthy for me inside. Mm-hmm. And so when I did start speaking and telling them how I felt, they didn't talk to me for a while. and that was really, really difficult. You know, it was really, really hard. But worse would be for me to stay in that toxic thought and those feelings of not expressing how I felt about certain things that were really unhealthy. So as I started slowly talking, it actually set me free from being in that prison of being silent. You know, and so it was a hard process, and it didn't happen overnight. It was obviously because obviously of something I went through really, as I said in the last as I said previously, you know, I went through a really difficult time, and because I was going through so much in my family, in my friendships, in my personal life, it forced me to kind of almost vomit and begin to it was as if I hit, do you know what I mean? Like so many things had happened, and I almost crashed in a way, and things started coming out. Yes. And so I just think that if you don't deal with those key issues and you don't say how you feel, and obviously we've got to be wise about what we say, you know, we can't say how we feel all the time, but there's things that, especially with family members, those close to us, we have to be vocal about it and kind of say, you know, you hurt me and this is how I feel. And that person might not obviously take it in the best way, and that's what I realized. I could say how I feel, but I shouldn't really be expecting an apology. Even if they don't give it, it doesn't matter. But I've just actually said how I felt and how it impacted me and how it made me feel. In 2017, I published my book. So after that got published, I think for me it was a 10-year journey. And I just thought to myself, do you know what? It's been 10 years. And when it did get published and stuff, I just realised that I could spend the rest of my life again hiding and not stepping forward and pursuing my dreams and not, you know, actually fulfilling my purpose, and I could stay there being shy and being in the background and actually being comfortable in that, but then I'm not really living to my full potential. And that just gave me the confidence to actually just go for it, you know, even if it means talking about stuff in the blogs and in the book, things that, you know, are personal, but to actually go for it, not really care what people think, and to express those things and in hope that it's going to help somebody. And I think that's the thing that kind of made me want to step out, in hope that it's going to help someone.
Yes.
Because if I was feeling that way, then how many other people were feeling that? And worse would be to stay in that situation, because the only person I'm hurting is myself, and obviously people around me, my relationships, not being able to give fully of who I am because I'm holding back. I'm really passionate about making sure that, you know, when I have my kids and I've got children and stuff, what am I going to teach them? Am I going to teach them to kind of like, oh no, don't do that, you know, don't say how you feel, or do I actually want to leave them a legacy where they're free in who they are, as well as obviously seeing me, you know, if I'm pursuing my dreams and actually going through the challenges but overcoming them, I want them to be able to see that they too can overcome. Otherwise, if I stay here and not dealing with stuff, then I'm passing the wrong message to them. Because if I tell them, oh, you're amazing, you can do it, but if I don't believe that for myself, then it's not, you know, then they learn by example, not by the things I say.
Thank you. So inspiring. Sipho, would you have a word of encouragement or a practical tip?
I think for me, I would probably say to somebody who is struggling with that, is the fact that, you know, you have to get to that point where you want the freedom more than you want to stay the way you are. Because at the end of the day, it's like, if you can't keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. I love that quote. It's just really defined my life a lot in the last couple of years. And I think also, it just goes back to that point. You have to just make a decision to just be like, you know what, I'm gonna deal with these things, and I'm gonna be who I'm called to be, and don't apologize for it.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Next time on the 7 series.
Just I could never be me. I never felt that who I was enough. I never felt I could be vulnerable and just share who I was, because I felt like who I was would be rejected and I couldn't face that rejection again.